Welcome to the Jordan Lang Podcast. This is a space where we will have conversations on all of the things like business, wellness, motherhood, social activism, and lots more. Come prepared with an openness to learn, grow, and expand yourself just a little bit further with each topic we discuss. Thank you for joining us today. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to this introduction podcast episode of the Jordan Lang Podcast. I am your host, Jordan Lang. Thank you so much for joining me. Just needed to take a bit of a pause, a bit of a break. I'm going to do my best within each episode to share from my heart and not so much from my head. Y'all, I have notes that I wrote down. I don't know if it's the Capricorn in me that's like, you gotta have this planned out. You can't fuck this up. I don't know if it's that or if it's just, my nerves or what it is, but there are some things that, especially in this introduction episode, I'm going to keep it pretty short and to the point, just because if you're like me, I don't have a lot of time to listen to podcasts. I love them, but I don't have a lot of time to listen in just kids and life and all of the things. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet and to the point, and just really share my reason for this podcast, my vision, kind of how it's going to be set up, as well as share a little bit about myself. Because not everybody listening to this is going to know who I am, right? Even though many of you may, depending on if you follow me currently on Instagram or are a current client, former client, family member, whoever it might be, wherever you are coming from, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am so glad that you have found this space. So just to get started, a little bit about me. I am Jordan Lang. I am an online business manager, OBM for short, and a business strategist, online business strategist. And you're probably thinking to yourself, like, what the fuck does that even mean? Right? I have so many people who their eyes kind of glaze over when I share what I do or share like my business title. And I'm like, you have no idea what I just said to you. And they're usually pretty much going, yeah, I don't know what that means. So basically, I am your back end manager. I help with setting up systems and strategies and managing those. A lot of what I do is podcast management, contact with guests and making sure that things are streamlined and smooth and running really great back end. And I pretty much get to nerd out all day, watching YouTube tutorials, setting up spreadsheets, getting to do all of the things that I love to do and getting paid to do it. That I really couldn't ask for anything better than that. And not only that, but I get to work with some of the most incredible conscious business leaders, and the work that they're doing is amazing. And I'm so grateful to be a part of that and to know these incredible humans and be able to just help support them in the work that they're doing, because it's making such a positive impact on the collective. And I'm so, so grateful to be a part of that. So that's a little bit, a little glimpse into what I do as an OBM and business strategist. But I love it, honestly. Work doesn't feel like work, and I absolutely love what I get to do every single day. All right, so kind of shifting out of that, a little bit more about me personally. I live on Osage Nation, Erie and Kaskaskia land, otherwise known as Ohio, United States of America. I mentioned all three because where we're at, it's like right at an intersection of all three people's land. So I want to make sure that I mention and honor all three because I'm not entirely sure exactly whose land it is, but it's one of those three or a combination. I am married to my husband, Brian, and we have 3 kiddos. They are currently, and this when I'm recording this, 12, 9, and 4.5. So I have my hands full. But I can't say I love it all of the time. Right now, I love it. Today's been a good day. But on any given day, I could just say, like, being a mom is really fucking hard, and I don't love it today. Love my kids always, but don't always love everything about being a mom. That's for sure. I love coffee, reading, hiking, puzzles, and taking naps, y'all. Naps are where it's at. I don't get them that often, but when I do, they are beautiful. All right. So, the Jordan Lang podcast. I didn't always want to do a podcast. Just to be totally honest, totally transparent. A lot of my friends have them. A lot, what I do as a podcast manager, I know a lot of people who have them. And it was never something where I was going, yeah, I want to do that. It's not my forte. It's not something that I feel I excel at. And I resisted it for a really long time. I am now doing it because I do feel like it's time. I do feel like just it's time for me to do it. And I had a download for what I wanted the Jordan Lang podcast to look like, how I wanted it to be presented, and sort of my vision for it. And everything unfolded so beautifully and so perfectly that, again, it's time. It's time for me to move forward with this. So the Jordan Lang podcast is a space to have conversations about things and allow for growth and expansion. And we're going to be talking about a variety of different things. That's why I named it the Jordan Lang podcast, which I was hesitant to. Ego was like, what? Why are you calling it that? You need to get more creative and get more specific. But it's like, I want to talk about all of the things, not just one main topic. So I feel like just calling it the Jordan Lang podcast allows for me to not get pigeonholed into one specific topic, one specific area. We're going to be chatting about all of the things. And so I'm really excited to be able to have this space for conversation and growth and expansion, because some of the topics we're going to be touching on, I may not know that much about myself. So I'm super excited to be able to have these conversations with experts within those fields, to be able to grow personally and be able to share that with all of you listening. A friend recently told me it was time to step into my teacher role. So that is something that I am feeling into getting more comfortable with, if that's ever going to be something I'm comfortable with. I don't know. Again, I like to stay in the background. I like to be in that supportive role. That's where I'm comfortable. But we don't grow when we're comfortable, right? We don't expand when we're comfortable. We don't experience the most amazing things from a space of comfort. So I'm here to step out of my comfort zone myself within this space of the Journaling podcast. And I'm excited. I'm so excited. So I want to share with you how it's going to look, what it's going to be, and just so you have an idea if this is something you want to continue listening to, or maybe you're going, it's not for me, and that's okay too. So this podcast will be a mixture of interviews and solo episodes where I just share on my own, like I'm doing right now. It's mainly going to be interviews, though. It mainly is because of the vision for it. So there's going to be different seasons and different areas of focus. So when I had my download, I had just this whole page, well, more than a page of people I wanted to talk to, topics I wanted to learn more about or to discuss. And there are over 30 that were on that list. So I mean, the current format is going to be probably 2, maybe 3 episodes a month, but I don't I don't want to overcommit and then get stressed out and make this a not fun process for myself. So the plan is to release episodes the first and third week of each month. And it's going to be amazing. So mostly interviews with guest experts, and then some solo episodes thrown in there. Probably they're going to be more like summary type episodes, like to close out a season or to start a season. And yeah, so it's going to be mostly specific topics, but within seasons and areas of focus. It's going to be Q&A style. So my guests are going to have specific questions that I'm going to be asking them, that they're going to be answering. And it's going to link up to a blog post that I'm going to have housed on my website. So I will share an overview, a summary at the beginning of the blog post, enter in, our questions and answers, and also link to this podcast, the podcast episode that it coincides with. So if you're listening to an episode and you're going, okay, I want to know more, I need more details, or you want maybe just a different format. If you're more, you want to read while you watch or while you listen, totally get that. I use subtitles all of the time when I am watching a show or a video or whatever it might be. So I totally get that. It's not going to be word for word, just because I'm not going to transcribe it, but it will be pretty close to where you can kind of be on the same page with what you're reading and what you're listening to at the same time. It's also going to be added as a video. So I'm gonna take the video itself that we're recording on Zoom for the interview, and I'm going to upload the video to YouTube. So you'll also have access, if you like that interview style where you can see our faces, see our expressions, all of that, you have that access to. And then there are subtitles provided on YouTube as well, which is really great for just allowing all people to have access to the content that I am sharing here. So really, really excited at how beautifully this is all going to come together and be accessible for everybody. And yeah, if you're like, wow, that sounds like a lot of work, Jordan, just remember that's literally the work that I do. So when I tell you I'm excited to get all of this set up back end wise, I'm not joking. Like, I'll take a fucking day off to do this because I love it so much, and it gives me so much energy and really excites me. So I hope that comes across. It's going to be super laid back, not necessarily for kids. Obviously, you can tell I do swear. There could be explicit language possible. More than likely, there will be. Just a disclaimer, this isn't meant for kids. If you choose to swear around your kids, totally get that. I do. But just a disclaimer, this will have the potential for explicit language. Just letting you know up front. The Jordan Lang podcast is a judgment-free, safe space for all people. So just make sure that you know that coming in. Don't at me with like any hate, any bullying, any of that, because I will shut that shit down real quick. I'm not here for that at all. I am here to help you grow and expand. And sometimes that does trigger us, right? It does get triggering sometimes, but you got to sit with that and ask yourself, why am I getting triggered? What is this causing? What sort of reaction is this causing within me to get me so upset? And really sit with that, because sometimes it's, just shit you got to work through. I'm that way too. There's so many times when I get triggered by something and I'm like, okay, wait, am I just like being super sensitive right now? Which, I mean, no, like every feeling that we feel is valid and there's a reason for it. So it's just, I may trigger you. My guest may trigger you. Our conversations may cause you to get upset, and that's okay. Just know that this is a judgment-free, safe space. And if you're feeling that, please message me. Let's have a conversation about it. And maybe we can work through it together with one another and come out stronger and more educated than we were before, right? That's my hope. So thank you for tuning in to this introduction episode. I hope it is helpful for you with knowing how the Jordan Lang podcast is going to be and how it's all going to come together. Y'all, I'm super, super excited. Thank you. I'm excited to be on this journey with you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Lots of love.